All right, what's up, guys? It's Tyler with the Lawn Review. Hopefully you can hear me. I can't tell if anybody's here or not. I'm not going to try and figure out until it re-updates because I've done this in the past and I just end up sitting here looking like an idiot. So if you're there, cool. If you're not, and I'm just talking to myself, that's another cool thing, I guess. Anyway, ooh, trying to block that out. That's me back there. In the black right there, just snagging on somebody. Actually, no, I did not catch that ball, and I got a concussion that play too. So it's actually not as cool as it seems. It's a cool picture, but not what it seems like. Anyway, I've been at the beach. Just got back. I've got a video coming out. I think tomorrow, maybe tonight, maybe if I can get done editing it, where I talk about what the heck happened to my lawn. I forgot to set my watering timers. It's a bloodbath. It's carnage in my front yard. Dry as a freaking chip. Let's see if I have any pictures. I don't on my phone. But let me tell you, when I say it's rough, it's really, really rough. It looks like straw. So I am going to post a video about that, how I'm going to rebound from that. Because it's not impossible to rebound, but if you don't have it in you, I would not try and do what I'm going to say to do, which is water a whole bunch, because if you don't want to keep your lawn alive after waking it back up, that puts a lot of stress on it to go from like asleep to awake to asleep. Think about it as like a bear in hibernation. That's just weird, throws it off. Don't do it if you don't want to do it. Anyway, it's not why we're here today. Today, I'm going to talk to you about something that is really near and dear to my heart. Worked on this thing for like 2 years, it feels like. Well, I've still been working on it, honestly. And that is our first product. I'm going to let you know, like, kind of the process that we went, in, like, making sure it happened, or, like, I don't know, working out all the kinks, you know what I'm saying. And all like the lessons that we learned along the way. I've got notes this time, so hopefully I'm not rambling too much like I was on the last one. See, I'm trying to get better. But yeah, so it's about our weed eater string. It's called Grass Kicker. And it's simple, but there it is, Grass Kicker. So anytime an order comes through, it pops up on my little thing over here. I print off a label and I slap a label on this little bag right here. Slap a label on it, put it in my mailbox, and it's on its way to you. So how we got here, though, and we probably do a couple orders a day, maybe, depending on the day. Maybe it's not like making me rich or anything. It was a really cool experience to be able to do. But through kind of a weird circumstance, we basically reviewed weed eater string, like to find the best weed eater string. I was just curious, like, of all these types of weed eater strings, you've got the black diamond that everybody swears by, over like this standard like orange circle that everybody, that you feel like there's 50 million of them on the wall at Home Depot. They got this star shaped, all that stuff. It's all braided, tons of options. So basically I was like, I'm going to try and figure out which one's the best. If you've seen any of my videos, that's kind of what I do with mowers and blowers and trimmers. And I'm always putting things up against each other to see which one's actually best. And I hate advertising jargon. I hate when brands, I feel like, are not being honest. So I was like, I'm just going to put these up head to head. So I used about 8, I think, different weed eater strings, and I can't remember all the names. Obviously, Black Diamond was in there. Some Oregon line. And if you can hear that, sorry, that's Jude my son up there, pushing something around. Anyway, so I put all these head to head. I tested like strength. I knew that was an important thing when looking at weed eater string. Strength, I tested that. I tested strength by like hitting it against a 4x4 post. And I have a video I can link. I'll probably link it later in the comment section of this video if you want to go watch it. But I hit all those weed eater strings against a hard, solid object, like a 4x4 post. And then to test the durability of that particular line. And then I got into the cutting efficiency. So I couldn't simulate the exact same cutting conditions over and over and over again, because some clumps of grass would be denser than others. So what I did was I wrapped a pool noodle with electrical cord tape, black electric tape. And so I did that. And that was to test like the cutting efficiency. So I slowed it down in super slow motion, and you could see the differences in types of line. Like, honestly, I would have imagined that like a star-shaped line with a whole bunch of points on it would cut better just because there's a lot more points on it. But really, I felt like that made it more brittle. So the more little jagged edges on it, the more likely it was actually to catch something and rip. Or it just wasn't a clean cut. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. So I did that, and then visibility I knew was key. I don't use a weed eater, like a head on my weed eater string trimmer, because I like to see where I'm going. I like to flip it over on its side a lot and cut close to trees, close to fences, all that stuff. So being able to see my line was great. The black diamond, everybody loves the black diamond, but man, does that disappear. Completely disappeared on my tests when I was using it. And then like clear, there's some Oregon line that's basically like clear line. It kind of turned white, but very poor visibility. And there was a line that was green that I felt like just absolutely popped. But I remember its shape being something obscure. I have it over my shed. I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. Ultimately, I was doing this, and I was like expecting one of the strings to come out on top as like the best. Cool Rob VR. Yes. Let's go, dude. Celebrating. Anyway, so I was expecting one of these strings to be like the best, and I would recommend that one. But they all kind of excelled at different things, which was really cool. And so I was like, well, I'm going to then recommend I'm going to put all those into Google and see which one pops up and recommend it. There really wasn't one. Truthfully, there wasn't a green string in a triangle shape. That's what I figured out was like the best. A triangle shape, 0.095 inch line, and then in that green color. And so that's what I felt like was the best combination through my testing. I mean, I'm no like, what's his name? Project Farm, where, I don't have like a lab, but like this is when I used it out in the field, this was the best combination. So it didn't exist. So that got my like, mind spinning on it. And I was like, wait, what if we just like, it can't be that hard. Well, it turns out it's a lot harder than I thought it was. But we were like, what the heck? Why does this not already exist? So we, again, can we make this? We like started to look, like I remember looking at manufacturers, like would I call Oregon and ask them? Would I call some other, big manufacturer and Echo and say, hey, I've got a great idea? No, they would just turn around and make it themselves. So I tried to look up like manufacturers of these things inside the US. Newsflash, doesn't really exist. If it does, I wasn't able to find them. So basically, I was on the internet, like scouring, trying to figure out how to even get this made. It seemed so simple, yet so difficult to do for me. And I knew I wasn't doing something right. So Googling, found out way more about string trimmer line than I ever thought there. You have like grades of plastic. I don't know if you knew this, but like, some of them, the more durable stuff, like ours, is a higher grade plastic, or whatever. The material is higher grade than some of the others. I didn't even know that. It's like the density of the material, all of that. But all that goes into like how fast it can spin. Yada yada yada. There was so much to it, but I don't really know where I got the idea from, or how I figured this out. But basically, I was like, I wonder if Alibaba. And turns out Alibaba is where people get stuff from, or at least that's the Alibaba. Like, I know it sounds cheap, but it's really just like the conduit from people here in the U.S. or anywhere really, and manufacturers in China. Like, obviously, yeah, the quality's like I would want an American made thing myself because I'm redneck. No, but because I try to buy American if I can. But so I ended up being able to like figure out that if I wanted it made, I would be connected with somebody via Alibaba. And turns out I got connected with a couple guys at first. It was very difficult dealing with like the broken English. Just truthfully, trying to be able to talk to somebody on there was really hard. So went through like 4 or 5 different people, trying to figure out how to get this line made. Like, even just communicating the shape was tough. Finally found this guy. I don't even remember something. That's not his name. His name's Jim. I'm trying to think of the province that he was in, somewhere in China. And basically, I told him exactly what I wanted. He gave me 50 million questions of like, well, do you want this kind of? But I was like, perfect. We're dialoguing here. So basically, we got a couple prototypes sent. The first one was like super, super dull. I remember getting it. I probably have it outside. But you see how this kind of has like a kind of almost a neon-y hue to it? The other one was dull, and it just like, this one kind of looks like neon when it's spinning. It's kind of got an iridescent kind of hue to it, and the other one was dull. And so there was this back and forth. It was 30-day, they shipped all the stuff via boat and stuff, so it took forever. Again, you think it seems easy, but when you do it, you're like, oh. And then, okay, so we figured out what we wanted in terms of weed eater string. Got it nailed in. Well, then we go to like get close to placing the order, and they're like, hey, FYI, like Chinese New Year is coming up. And I can't remember. This is probably in 2022, maybe. And I was like, okay. Like, I thought of New Year's as like New Year's for us. It's not the same thing. Very, very different. Come to find out. So he was telling me that because basically they shut down for, I don't even know how long. It seemed like maybe a month, 2 months, 2 weeks to a month. It felt like they were just shut down. So I didn't get the order placed before Chinese New Year. I think that was, I don't even remember the month, but I remember it hitting to where then we didn't get it until June, July maybe, or something like that. It was late. I wanted it like at the beginning so that like when people started to gear up for the season, that they would have it, in February or March or something like that. And we were late. Anyway, that's a caveat. Doesn't really matter. Just make sure if you're ever dealing with a manufacturer in China and they mention Chinese New Year, just go for it. Do it. Because we also, like, money, truthfully, at that point was a problem. Was like a limiting resource for that. So I remember him like talking about the MOQs and like minimum order quantities of how much string we could buy from him. And we were just like, as little as possible. It turns out like 1,000 is as little as possible. So we had 1,000 units of this, and I have a couple pictures. I know I keep saying that, and then I should have had them quick to reference. But all of a sudden, after Chinese New Year rolls around, the UPS guy starts backing up. I've never seen a UPS guy back up in my driveway before. They may have in yours, but in mine, I would remember being like, what the heck? So he's backing up. I never even got a notification that it's sent, really. I thought it was all hung up in the Chinese New Year thing. Anyway, it's coming down the driveway. The guy's like, yeah, I got a lot for you. And I was like, okay. And so he opened up the back of it and pulled it up, and there were just boxes. It was all one delivery truck too. There were just boxes and boxes of this. And if you can see, this is one box that goes inside of another box that goes inside of another box. So there's like 10 of these in one of those boxes. So we're talking 10 of these in one of the boxes, and then there's like 8 of those in the big box. So these are huge boxes. Like, I can't even move them by myself, hardly. I mean, I can, but you know, it was hard to move them by myself. So we had them all, and we were like, great. Then we had to, like, we did this so backwards, I felt like, at least in my remembrance of it, recollection, that we had the stuff, but we didn't really have, like, a means to sell it necessarily. I mean, we had done some back work on how to, like, set up a Shopify page, which is basically like an intake page, I guess, like a way to receive orders from anybody. You guys, like, if you want to go to our website, it says store, it says shop or store or something like that. You can click on it, and that will take you to a Shopify page. What up, Eddie? That will then intake an order for us, and then from Shopify, we had to figure out, okay, like, I guess you can kind of fulfill through Shopify, but not really. It's not super easy. So we figured out you had to use another thing to receive and fulfill the orders, which was ShipStation. So basically, an order comes in online on our website, wherever, goes to ShipStation. No, Shopify. Shopify then sends it to ShipStation. Sorry, I've been at the beach, Eddie. Probably why. I think I remember, if I remember correctly. I'll check my email. I've been out of town for the last 2 weeks. But I think I know what this is about. Oh, we're talking about it right now. I'll get you some in the mail. And if you're watching this and you want any weed eater string, sorry, Eddie, for the delay on that one. I actually was at the beach. I'll send you some weed eater string if you just want to try it. And you don't want to buy it, I don't care. Like I said earlier, I'm not, like, getting rich off of it. It was a really cool experience. I've obviously learned a lot in it. And I'm going to keep doing it because I make a little bit of money. But after shipping it here and fulfilling it and all the shipping to you, it's like I'm hardly making any money, if money at all. But anyway, if you want it, you can email me, tyler@thelawnreview.com, or just throw it in the chat right here, just your address and your name, and I'll send you some. Anyway, where was I at? I wrote notes. Oh, we had to figure out price. We basically went online and went to Amazon and just checked out what other people were charging for it. And turns out they were charging a lot for it. And so we just basically charged ours a little bit less. In hindsight, again, like I was saying, I didn't understand. I mean, I've worked in supply chain basically my entire career. So I understand, like, shipping costs and logistics and that sort of things, but maybe not the total cost, all of it, like inbound, outbound. Like, you got to consider the outbound cost as well. It's because I thought, great, we're going to make a lot of money off these things. No. But it's fun. Sorry. Got you right here, dog. Eddie Neal. Anyway, let's see. I just wanted to make sure I had a few cool things I wanted to talk about. Basically, then we started getting our first orders. They were mainly friends and family, and I remember, like, I didn't even really know how to fulfill the order. I just wanted orders to come in, so, like, my brother and sister, like, all ordered mine. And I didn't even know how to ship it to them. So, like, that was a big mistake that I learned, is don't have an order come in until you're absolutely ready, because there's all these logistic analytics that go into, like, how it recommends line or products to you. So, like, it's very important that I respond to them very quickly, because that basically it'll tell it'll tell Google, hey, he's not a really good supplier because he doesn't respond to you quick enough. So I had a whole bunch of orders sitting out there for, like, weeks, it felt like, that were unfulfilled. And that hurt us from the get-go. because then I would try to fulfill them within an hour of getting them. But once you have some out there that are so long, it takes a lot of really good order fulfillment to bring that average back down to like a day or however long. So just wanted to clear that up. If you ever want to do it, don't do that. Do you have any tips for edging with a string trimmer that the head doesn't rotate on? I just rotate. I've never even seen a head that actually rotates. I always just rotate the unit itself. Let's say this is your string trimmer right here. Well, here. Oh, it's perfect. All right. There's the weed eater. This is the part that spins. So I always just rotate the entire unit like that. And so there are times when I'm lifting it. God, that's such a bad analogy. Freaking A. Oops. Maybe that looks a little bit more reasonable. All right, say this is a weed eater shaft with the head right here without the guard on it. So if I'm holding it up here and I want to go like this with it, you just twist it all the way around, if that makes sense. Hyper tough ones. This has got me interested. Hold on. Hyper tough weed eater. You talking about the oh, okay. Huh. Sometimes I can share my screen on here. Yeah. I don't know. If it's what I'm looking at, that might be very difficult actually. It's because you got a little trigger up here, right? Besides doing a lot of gymnastics. Oh, okay. 118, you said? Yeah, just flip. I mean, try as best as you can flip it over. I'll email you too, because I've got a plethora of these things. That one looks kind of tough. Like I'm always messing with angles, like up and down like that, or twisting it. And don't really, without being able to see it, it's hard for me to say like this is what I would do or this is what I would not do. Oh, yeah, I'm always kind of like lifting up like that too. Sometimes I have to hold it up here, like with the trigger in my hand, this way. If I'm going straight up and down, but I know that you can actually. Now that you say it, I remember one of the guys like Lawn Care Life or something like that saying that you can twist those heads on there. I don't know. I'll email you separately about that. Sorry that I'm not on that one. Anyway, so basically we started fulfilling the orders via Shopify, and then we realized that we needed to step up our game and put it on Amazon. So if you can buy the string on Amazon as well, it's fulfilled FBA. So basically we just have to ship a whole bunch of lines to Amazon, like a fulfillment center. And problem is like you can't ship them too much, or you can't have it there too long. So we had to become like inventory experts on like how much we anticipated selling something we've never sold on Amazon before. So it's very hard to figure out actually how much you need to send them. And then you can get these like fees for slow moving inventory there. And it's just like, it's very hard to get it back. I don't even know if you can get it back after shipping it to Amazon. So we don't like that. But if you want to order the line too, it's on Amazon as well. This is it. Which one? This is it. Eddie, wondering if you emailed me. But that brings me to another point. If you ever want to email me any questions that you have about your lawn or tools or, something I haven't reviewed and you think, hey, Tyler, you should review this, send it to me, tyler@thelawnreview.com. Yes, I did. And that was another one that I missed. I've been on vacation for like 2 weeks, or out of the office for like 2 weeks. So I will get to both those. Alex. That's the one. I'm looking at it right here. Yes, I went to the Milwaukee Pipeline event, which was really cool. Wow. Okay. The Milwaukee Pipeline event, which was really cool. I think that was that week. And they announced like all the new stuff that they've got coming out. Wasn't anything new, like super earth shattering. They do have like some new hedge trimmers and stuff coming out, and then a new string trimmer, but they don't have any new mowers. No zero turns yet. Hopefully next time they'll release a zero turn, because their mower, truthfully, in my opinion, is the best. Like, it's super expensive, but like Ego came out with one that I would say is just as good, if not maybe better, but then that's more expensive than the Milwaukee. The Milwaukee's like hard to beat. Gets you great lifts your grass blades up, ridiculous runtime. I don't know. So I like Milwaukee. I don't get paid by Milwaukee. I don't care that much about Milwaukee. I'm not a Milwaukee fanboy. I've been called that a lot. I didn't even know anybody from Milwaukee for the longest time until maybe like 2 weeks ago or a month ago when they invited me to that thing, which was really cool. It was fun, but like, I don't care at all. And everybody was saying I was a Milwaukee fanboy on the mower video when Milwaukee didn't even win. Okay, so that doesn't make any sense. It wasn't the best mower based on all the metrics that I put it through. So, because I took the cost in the equation. Greenworks was really good, and it was super cheap. If I had to do that video over again, which I might do, I might do a year in review, and the results would not be the same. Be very different a year after the fact. That's a good idea, Tyler. I'm logging that into my brain for another video. But my best video ever, the one where I did the 5 mowers, it's a little bit different a year later. So some of them have lasted, some of them have not. I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, so that's basically how the product came to be, how we filled it. And then we've learned about running ads on Facebook and just Google ads and things like that to try and get people to buy it, all just like out of curiosity and trying to figure out how to do these things. So that is that. Tomorrow I'm going to talk to you about this. Actually, this is a prototype. I just got one in the mail. This is a real one. So tomorrow I'm going to talk to you guys about this. I think it's 4 o'clock tomorrow, maybe. Hey, that's what I'm talking about right there. It's for sale now, if you want it. The Andersons. Lawn review. Had a baby. Made lawn IV. This is my baby. This is my first baby. Well, okay, Jude is my real baby. This is my lawn review baby, number 1. Lawn review baby, number 2. But this one I'm super excited for. Like, if you're like, if you're hungover, really, really hungover, like you had a hard night, and you just look dry and just dehydrated and just rough. This will get you right. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions, just want to hang out, I'll be around for a little bit. Any questions that are not like specific to anything, you can ask me literally anything. No, maybe not anything, but I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Truthfully, and this is like kind of a heart-to-heart section, but things have been really hard with the website and YouTube taking a different turn. Just like views and growth has really slowed down over the past month. So I'm trying to crank it up. Definitely going to try to put out a considerable more amount of videos, and do, maybe like a live stream every evening if I have to. Like, this is my dream. This is my goal. I want it to happen. I want to be able to do this full time. I don't care to really like have a billion subscribers. Billion would be a lot, but I don't care about that. I really like lawn care. I like putting out this type of content. I like being able to like interact with you guys. Seeing the same names in this thing has been really cool for me. So all that to say is, on a personal note, it's been really tough. Kind of stressed about just like growth and how our website's doing. Google did a big core update, which they're idiots. I don't know. Sorry. No, they own this company. I like Google. But they did a big update, and it's kind of hurt our website. So, yeah, just kind of feeling a little nervous lately. So that's how I'm doing. My family's doing great. We went to the beach. We came back. I have been sick. I was sick. See, all this stuff is coming back to me. I remember I was sick for like 3 days, 4 days, like to the point where like I couldn't even get out of bed. My head just hurt so bad. Unbelievably bad. Never had a headache. It's like a migraine, and I've never had a migraine before. I guess it was a migraine. Anyway, so just been, going through it lately. Anyway, small first world problems, but just wanted to let y'all know where I'm at. I'm going to turn that around next time, because it was an incomplete pass. Right there. Incomplete pass. Maybe in another life. All right, dudes. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you tomorrow. If you want to hang out tomorrow, I'll be here. See y'all. Peace.